Brother.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, bro.
I just figured, since it seems like nobody cares, I care. So, we just don't know where the Delta variant is coming from. It could be coming through the airwaves, so I'm just going to be careful. What do you think?
I don't know, man. I don't. Oh, shucks. I forgot to put up my phone. Hang on. Hang on. I'm so excited to see you, Charles.
Hey, thanks, sir.
We get plenty. Oh, there's my volume. Turn that off. Oh, we get plenty of people on already. Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Guys, this is gonna be a interesting evening. Share, guys. Share, share. I don't know. We don't even know what we're gonna talk about. I know what we're gonna talk about, but I don't know exactly what we're gonna talk about. And it's gonna come as it comes. My ring light.
Mm-hmm.
So how's your day, bro? Looks like you're still working, man.
Yeah, I'm here at the beautiful Lihue Airport on the island of Kauai. I'm in my cubicle as the and I've been watching the influx of travelers today. And everybody for the most part are masked up. I'm very proud of that. And but I give a shout out to our friends from Roberts, Hawaii, that's doing the monitoring for the Trans-Pacific, and they're very diligent about it. So it's been it's been a pretty neat experience. Pretty neat experience. I can tell you though, many of the ground personnel, they've been trying their darndest to accommodate. I mean, you look at the crowds coming through; it's large amounts of people.
Well, we got about 300 today come in.
It's I got to be honest. It seemed more. It seemed a hell of a lot more.
Yeah, we're
But
probably dealing with between 3,000 or so a day coming into Kauai. It's I was
it seems as if Lihue is like probably the second busiest. If we have to think of size, the second busiest airport in the state. I mean, it's just nonstop, and it's about trying to not so much accommodate, but trying to make everyone safe because there's a lot of moving cars, curbside, right? And there's so many people that sometimes the people step off the curb onto the pavement portion, right?
hmm
So we have our personnel there, and I appreciate our locals who are have a understanding and patience with our curbside officers because they have to try to accommodate everybody, get in safely, pull off the lane properly, let the people unload the bags and all that. And they've been, for the most part, they've been very, 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 very polite. I haven't seen anyone because I've been walking the curbside a lot, getting to know the new lay of the land, and it's nice. It's nice. The only thing is this weather. You know, Today it started off good, and it went a little bit warm, then it rained and dried up and just steam all over the place, and it's just that real muggy feeling. But hey, lucky I live for Hawaii, so I won't complain
Absolutely,
about
man.
that.
Absolutely. I know the crowds. We talked about it about the stacking of the flights today. As I went down towards Aokini, I saw some of the mainland flights holding up on the tarmac. They had already left the gate, or they couldn't get in the gate, but they were on hold. Like there was too many planes, not enough
Hmm.
gates,
Hmm.
and that just tells me that, I mean, if I'm the operator, if I am the airlines, or if I'm the Department of Transportation, that tells me, hmm, I think we have too many flights coming in at the same time. I really do, and I think because it's a pandemic and because crowds are really unsafe, and with social distancing it's impossible. I would think that the directive would come out and say, "Hey, you guys gotta spread apart your flights. You just have to." But nah, load them up, load them up. I see the line. I'm like, okay, yeah, and then we wonder why we get virus. Hey,
Well,
again, guys, share, 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 share. All
I,
right,
I
last
would
announcement.
I would like to say that sometimes when you have a really good track record, like Kauai has, it becomes more inviting because it's probably the safest place on this planet. And then you get numbers like, you remember before, when the numbers we are getting now, if it was before, we'd be shut down by now. Guarantee.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, but it's not that.
I am curious as to what our county is going to do now with these numbers, because it's not stopping. I mean, it's not going to stop. This spike is going to continue because of the clusters. So at what point do you revert now back? Do you revert back to we have one person in ICU.
Mhm.
Do you go backwards on the tier system, or you just let it ride and hope nobody else gets sick? And I spoke to not spoke texted with my nephew today, and he's doing okay. They're just suffering from fatigue, and which is the symptoms. My friend's son, uh, feeling like they have a cold, and he lost his sense of taste, and these are real. These are real symptoms. And but at what point do we look and say, okay, now do we have to back up, or do we just let it go? The numbers aren't going to go down, not here on Kauai anyway, because the clusters are established. This variant is all over. And remember, I don't know, the state is so proud that we're at 58% vaccination rate. Now think about it. And remember now, the Department of Health said in a press conference a week or so ago that they adjust the numbers, the percentage, and they count those that have gotten the virus but not vaccinated. They're counting them in the percentage. So there's a lot less people actually vaccinated than that number, according to the Department of Health now. So my point is this: if you were at 58%, 42% still not vaccinated. And when we look at a population of, let's say, 75,000, and you look at a daily tourist population of about 15 or 20,000, we're pushing the 100,000 person level. We don't know if these people that's coming in from the mainland are vaccinated. So, but even if you take out the visitors, we're still looking at about 35, 36,000 people roaming the islands, residents that are not vaccinated. So it's still we're still vulnerable, and I think people got to pay attention to that when they're out and about. This weekend, we know, right? It's so funny, because it's not funny, but it is funny when you hear the governor come out and the Department of Health come out begging the people to be safe, this weekend. After you lock them up for a year and a half and then they're buckaloos, it's like, bro, it's like taking one of us, Charlie, to a buffet and say you can only go one time and you can only use this one small plate. It's not going to
Well,
happen. It's
yeah,
not going to happen.
it is, because I'll take the small plate, brother, anytime. But then I'll also bring a garbage bag too.
Exactly. And that's what's going to happen, right? That's what's going to happen. So
yeah,
we just got to wait and see. We got to ride. I hear firecrackers already. It's just my God. We are a society that has been restrained for so long. It's very hard to keep them in check. But we'll see, and hope for the best, I guess. Remember, hope is not a strategy. We got to remember that hope is not a strategy. And when you look at the numbers, I'll put up the chart in a little bit. I just want to wait till after 7 o'clock so we get the most viewers on. But I'll put up the numbers, because when you look at, and I didn't have time today. I didn't have time today to go get all the deaths from Honolulu, from the Star Advertiser.
Mhm.
One death, 2 deaths, 3 deaths, 1 death, 1 death. I didn't get that compilation, but I know it's quite a bit. But when you hear, we had 1 case, 2 case, and then when you add them up over a month or so, and you realize, wow, that's a lot. And that's what I'll show tonight. But we got to understand that this thing is not going to go away. And July 8th, you remember, starting July 8th, all you need is a vaccination card that you upload into the system. You upload into Safe Travels, and then you come in. No tests, no quarantine, We don't even know if that card is valid. What do you think gonna happen? I don't want to hear our leaders like I have been hearing. Wow, we didn't realize it was gonna pick up so fast. Oh my God. I don't want to hear them in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks say, wow, I didn't realize that there were so many fraudulent cards, or I don't realize that we'd have so many people coming in. I didn't realize, kind of surprised that the numbers rose so suddenly. I don't hear that because they should know. And even if they don't know, they should prepare for that. They're not prepared. They're not at all. They are just, let's go.
Yep.
Maui, I was messaging with one of our viewers. They had a family friend or relative or whatever come into Maui. No, there's no checking in Maui. There's no checking for tests. There's no checking for. They just walk right through. Right through. There's no screening at all off of a mainland flight. So, whatever, man. Let's just go. Let's just go. That's insane.
Well, I first would like to take this opportunity to say prayers to the two pilots that was rescued today off of Oahu. This morning they had a downing of Flight 810 Transair after takeoff, experienced trouble, was trying to turn around, make it back to Honolulu, Daniel K. Inouye Airport, but could not and had to do a water landing, and they were rescued this morning. So, prayers go to them and their families. I know there was some injuries reported, but I believe there was a cargo plane, a 737, I think.
Yeah.
Cargo plane that went down. So, times are, it's crazy times. But getting back to what you're saying, it seems apparent that I want to say there's some in the medical field that cares, and yet there's some not in the medical field, but in the field of business and tourism that possibly don't care or care, but yet it's not my problem if something happens. And so that's why they're really pushing hard at trying to just get people here. And I understand it. It's just business, but yet, where's the experience? Where is the experience? I can tell you with certainty as I walk along curbside, I'm looking at a lot of these people. They're happy to be here, yet it looks like they just came from a place that had chaos, and it's just like they're walking into a place with chaos, right? I think if I came from a place that had high volume of foot traffic, I would want to go to a place that's not so busy. That at least there's still room on the beach that I can roam and not worry about someone being too close. But there is so much people. But again, I gotta say kudos to that. Kudos to whatever messaging that's going on in a plane. They all got their masks. But I can tell you one thing: it's impossible to social distance. It's impossible unless they walk on the road, and we won't let them do that. But there's just so many bodies moving around. So, everybody's akamai, and nobody's fooling anybody. And I don't think they're trying to fool it. They're just doing it in the open. And that is, we'll wear our mask, but we're not going to social distance because where can we? It's like shoulder to shoulder. And, unfortunately, they got these spacers on the ground, like little tiny feet stand here. They're 6 feet apart. That's not going to work when you got this much people. But I can only say this much, Mel, that the local residents who work at the airport, they're really taking things serious. That they're keeping a safe distance. They have their mask on, and I like to see that. I get to walk inside in a sterile area, and I see all, from the maintenance people to the janitors, to the people that work in the restaurant, the gift shops. They're all taking precautions. And I'm glad to see that. I thought it would be not so safe, but they're taking precautions. They are. So I can give a shout out to all of the people in Kauai that I think we learned our lesson from the first go around, that we don't want it to happen again. But something is happening. You just said it. We kind of made a fun of it before we went on air, and that is the numbers are climbing, and that's what we didn't want to see. But hey, you and I both know, and as well as many of our viewers, that there's only so much we can do, right? We need help from all agencies, all individuals, all hands on deck, as they say. But some, like you said, they've been cooped up for so long. It's like if you were in a place where you could only have peanut butter and jelly sandwich 3 times a day, the first chance you get to go to a Sizzler Steakhouse or someplace like Outback, you're gonna go for a gusto, right? And
Yep.
because flights are cheap, maybe not so much the rooms, and maybe not so much the cars, because there's no cars, but yet they figure, you know what? Let's get over to Kauai and then we'll figure it out then, right?
Hmm.
And I think that's what they're doing. That's what they do. But it's their dollar. But again, we're all trying to err on the side of caution.
Yeah, I actually pretty real surprised. Not, I shouldn't say surprised. I'm happy and proud of our residents. Even a lot of those visitors that are here that are wearing their masks, even when they're outside and they're not required to, still wearing their masks. Definitely
Mhm.
wearing the masks indoors. That's what it's going to take. I mean, that's exactly what it's going to take. But again, my nephew was anal about wearing a mask. He always they wore masks. That's what they did. And
Mhm.
his fiance is pregnant, so they were concerned. So they really were playing it safe. And that is why people got to understand that this virus, this variant, is so contagious. It doesn't take much, and I think that's where people gotta really pay attention and understand that you can protect yourself as best you can, but we don't know everything about this variant yet. And we know one thing, though, that it's much more contagious and causes much more severe illness, especially to those that are not vaccinated. So again, the plea for those of you that are on the fence, go get it if you can. We really want to protect our state, our people, and very very little serious illness to those that are vaccinated. So
Mhm.
we just gotta get everybody we know and love to go get vaccinated. I think that's critical, and not because you want to win a $5,000 cash prize or because you want to win 100,000 miles from Hawaiian Airlines or you want to win a trip to anywhere else. No, that shouldn't be the reason why you go get a vaccine. And I want to know, and I'm going to find out, and I'll let everybody know once I find out how much did we pay that marketing firm in tax dollars to go promote this sweepstakes or prizes. I
Right.
bet we paid that guy a lot of money,
Hmm.
and the commercials, all of that. I just can only imagine how much we spent. No one has asked that question. I'm surprised. I figured somebody in the media would have picked up on that, but they haven't. But I definitely gonna put in a request for that. I want to know. I really want to know how much did we spend on marketing um, of this little bribery scheme that they got going, because that's really
Hmm.
what it is. It's really what it is. I mean, you should be getting the vaccine because you're concerned about about you and others that you love. That's why you should be getting a vaccine, not because you want to win a prize. Jeez. I did. I was hoping I win the prize, the 100,000 miles, because like I said, Charlie, I'll donate it to a charity. I would donate that to a charity, um, because I think that's a wrong reason to get a vaccine,
Yep.
and that's just
Well,
insane.
I do want to say that today I was feeling a little melancholy when this first venture of ours started, and we talked a lot about the passing of my brother. But then there were also some stories that leads towards success in a way, but they're still recovering, like Mia, like Richard, right? Like George Ma, and the list goes on and on. that, they, even Angela herself, and, they still have to deal with some of the after effects, right? So as I was feeling melancholy, I started to think about the great people like Darcy Yukimura with the Community Foundation, and we were able to all raise that money. But it wasn't us who did it. It was first and foremost people like Kirk Correa stepping up and just deciding on his own to make all those shirts. We had fun with Doodle Boy and everything else on Kole Puka. Uh, so it's those kind of things that makes me say, I think, well, I know we did well, because even when I see some people, they said, Uncle Charlie, you and Uncle Mel were the voice to at least keep things in check. Because if it wasn't for you folks, we would just, it'll be like riding a horse with no saddle and just letting the horse take you where he wants to go. And you don't know if you're going to go over the cliff or not, right? But we kind of kept it in check for them, telling our perspective and how we share the info with them of what we should be looking out for, because that's what we would be looking out for, right? All the dangers that lay ahead. And it's a good feeling. I walk into like Ishihara or now, because I'm in Lihue a lot, I walk into Times and people go, "Hey, I recognize their voice," especially if I'm laughing. Is it? In fact, just the other day, I was on one aisle and I started to laugh. I saw a classmate of mine, and his lady came around the corner and says, "I knew that was you, Uncle Charlie, because I watch you all the time with Uncle Mel. I know that laugh." And I said, "Thank you very much." But it's stuff like that to see in weird places or strange places or the uncommon places that you're gonna meet new friends. And so I was feeling good about that today. I was just reminiscing.
Yeah, that's always that always brings some sunlight to my day. When that
Mhm.
happens, and it really does seem like it was just yesterday. And then when you start trying to remember, like you just mentioned, the names, it's like, wow, yeah, we did have a lot of people.
Mhm.
By the way, uh, Pop Up Makeke guys, Kala Wolf and Haumea Hawaii. Go to their website, Pop Up Makeke. You can watch them. I think it's at 5 o'clock or five o'clock or five o'clock every day before they're actually playing the Merry Monarch right now. I'm sure a lot of our viewers opted to watch the Merry Monarch tonight instead of coming on the show. But that's going on right now. Lena Ala's Kane uh, troupe did an amazing job. I got a chance to watch them before we started. They did a fantastic job. I didn't watch the rest, but they were flawless. I mean, to the
Mhm.
naked, untrained eye. But Haumea Hawaii, Kiala, and all of her bags and her goodies are on Pop Up Makeke. So go check out the website and go get your gifts for Christmas or for whatever. But you're
Yeah.
right, Charlie. A lot we and I think Melissa talks about it a lot. We have a village, we have an ohana. And it's not it was just it's not us. It's the people, and the people that our village grew because people told their friends and relatives, "Hey, you got to watch these two crazy people. They bring on some good guests." And yeah, I mean, it's been a long, long ride, and it's been a fun ride. And but like you said, we when you hear when we because we you and I both get messages from many of our viewers throughout the week. um my wife does a great impression of Mel's "what the hell." but but we get messages, so we hear, and oftentimes we get messages that are stressful because of what's going on other islands or in other states. uh, and we're right there with them. We all feel that trauma. So it's been a long ride, and it's been we have a lot of survivors that are still struggling, and we just hope. I mean, when can we? The brand is called Haumea Hawaii. Haumea, Haumea Hawaii. Go check it out. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Quality, top quality, good prices on Pop Up Makeke. So go check it out. Yeah,
Yes.
so yeah, it's just, Charlie, like, I think, sometimes I hate to say bittersweet because it's not bittersweet. It's more good than bad, but you cannot help but feel the emotions when many of our ohana, our viewers, are going through tough times.
Right.
So
Right.
it is no different than if, like, when you get a call from someone that your family member is ill or going through some crisis, or it's the same thing. The emotions are the same, even though we've never met you face to face. It seems like we've known each other forever. And I cannot wait for Charlie's concert. I cannot wait for Charlie's concert.
Well, while you're on that subject, while you are on that subject, I just want to let the viewers know because a lot of people saw our show on Wednesday, and I said Uncle Mel was just joking
I
because,
wasn't joking. I wasn't
well,
joking, Charlie.
okay, Uncle Mel wasn't joking. He's gonna run for governor himself.
No, no, no. Oh man,
Yeah,
2022.
yeah.
The uncles for governor and lieutenant governor.
No,
I got two
Mel.
messages from people that wanted to donate money to our campaign already.
See, that's theft.
Charlie, we are running. We are running.
I am running away from you.
Charlie, think of the changes we can bring to this wonderful state with the village. We would run and be the voices of, and that's what our slogan will be: voices of the village. Bingo. See, I didn't make that up. That just we're the
Mel,
voices of the
Mel,
village.
Mel, listen to me. Mel, I know right now you're hearing voices in your head, okay? There's no voices in a village. There's voices in your head. You need help, brother. You need help.
Voices of the village. Come on, guys. What do you guys think, people? What do you guys think, people? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. We can make it happen. We will make it happen. Man, I wish I had some Rocky music right now. I wish I had some Rocky music.
Well, are you asking me to do my Rocky music impression?
Yeah, Kirk will do the shirts. Kirk will do the shirts. Voices of the village. Oh man, I gotta tell you, it's damn.
But do you know where the voices come from when it's of the village? Think about it. It's the village people.
I bet I can get the village people to come play at our first fundraiser.
I'm not going to the YMCA, okay?
No, we're going. You're gonna have to write a song. You're gonna have to write a song. Where was your trailer for the show? Yeah, I didn't get it. I will. I'm gonna work on that over the weekend. So Monday night. I don't know. Monday is 4th of July holiday. But anyway,
Brother,
I'll-
I love you, but you one damn troublemaker.
no worry, people. I'll work on Charlie. Just start spreading the word. Uncles in 2022. Voices.
Yeah, remember now, I said spread the word, no spread rumors. And right now, everything is a rumor.
No way. No way. Share, guys. Tell the world. Tell the world. Because I ain't kidding. See, Jay says, better yet, we dress up like the village people. Perfect. I see. This is our first campaign meeting right now. This is our first campaign meeting. Anyway, back to some serious business. I'm gonna put up the screen of the numbers, guys. I hate to spoil the party, but I did want to get this up to share with you guys, just so we get an understanding. This is Kauai. I sorry, you guys. You out of islands. You guys know count all your votes, so I cannot do a presentation for all your other islands because you guys numbers are all around the place. I tried, believe me, but this is thanks to our mayor and our team here on Kauai. We get live real time data every day that we have cases. But as you can see, and I went back down to June 1st on the bottom of the list. June 1st, 1 1 2 2 4 2 2 2 4 1 1 1 7 2 3 11 7 and 10. The last 3 days, Kauai has had 28 cases. And then I broke it down by travel and oh, you know what, guys? I sorry because get that live and that counter in the way. I don't know how to fix that, but um, anyway, the travel related was 17, and the community spread was uh, 46. So 27% of our positives since June 1st was travel related, and 73% community spread. But and the amount of spread and the rapidness of this spread means, to me, I believe it's the variant. We won't know for a couple of weeks. But
Mhm.
as Charlie always says, right? These cases didn't grow in the lo'i of Hanalei or in the coffee fields down in Kalaheo. Yeah, this 73% of community spread is a result of the 27% of travel related cases. That's how it got here and that's how it spread. Now it's in the community. Now we're having clusters and now we going to see the spikes. So I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed because when you see oh, Kauai had 2 cases, oh, Kauai had 3 cases, but when you look in just 1 month, a little over a month, 63 cases on an island that had very little cases. Very little cases. So July 8th, D-Day, July 8th, we will see, I'm afraid to say, but we will see more cases, more spikes. All we can hope for is that the spread is limited and that, in fact, the vaccine does its job and keeps the serious illness, hospitalizations, and deaths to a very, very small number. So I just wanted to bring that up, Charlie. Thank you for allowing me that opportunity.
Well,
It's no
you know,
joke. I mean, it's no joke.
one thing that we can say for sure that the larger number that we saw is actually the brush on fire, and the number of travel related cases are that you can equate that to the source or the match that lights
Mm-hmm.
that fire. So how do we prevent fires from happening? We get rid of the source. I'm not saying get rid of it, but you have to make sure that that source is safe when it comes into the island. But again, there is, if you look, if we were to set up a matrix, you got to ask yourself, what is the motive? Knowing, I mean, is it a gamble saying, there will be some sick people, but not as much, and we can handle? So is that the way the thinking is, or is it like, you know, that's nothing? One case, 2 cases. What I look at is when people start getting sick and they end up in the hospital, or when
We,
it
we
starts to
do.
spread. Yeah,
We do on Kauai.
or when it starts to spread so fast, faster than we've ever seen it spread before. That means that literally we don't have the ability to outrun it. And the only thing that we can do is stay away from it. But here's the thing. Everybody looks asymptomatic, right? So you don't know where the heck. And so the thing, it's very unnerving to think that, well, even my friends, I gotta say, hey, okay, that's air hug, air hug. After a while, let's get kind of crazy, like air hug, air hug. And people are gonna say, you know what? I'm vaccinated, you vaccinated, they're gonna horn it, but yet we find out that even fully vaccinated people are getting the virus too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what angle we look at this thing, it all comes back to one thing, and that is if a person's infected, okay, whether they've been vaccinated or not, and you run into that person and you get exposed long enough for that person to release his love into the air or her love into the air, you're going to catch it. Plain and simple. And I think the sooner our government realizes this, then we can start putting our foot down and say, are you going to do something to stop it? Or are you leaving it up to us to see if we can outrun it? Or we absorb the blow, right? This island absorbs the blow, wherever it may be. Because right now, I can tell you this, Mel. On all the cases on Kauai, do we have the information that shows majority in Lihue, a percentage in Kapa'a, a percentage in Kalaheo or Poipu? Do we have that? Do we have those numbers?
I mean, I only know my personal knowledge of my
Mm.
nephew, his fiance, and my friend's sons, my friend's son, the wife, and their two kids. You know,
Mhm.
they're all in the Wailua Kapa'a area. But I can tell you this, and this is the scary part, is none of them know where they possibly contracted the virus.
And see, that's where the whole problem lies, right? And so
Now,
that's why in the beginning,
I was asking my nephew questions and said, did the
Mm.
Department of Health person ask you? No. Did the Department of Health ask you this? No. So again, it comes down to contact tracing, and I'm not going to say too much because I don't want to reveal the identities of these people. But I can tell you what, I was troubled that one of the cases, the workplace, back just like no one tested positive, and I'm concerned about that, and that the Department of Health didn't require to quarantine all of the close contacts or get everybody tested. And that
right?
I just shocking. It's just shocking because I think everyone has really um, let their guard down, and they don't think it's that bad anymore because of the messages that we're getting from the state. And I,
Hmm.
you said something that was profound, and that was something that was said by Dr. Kim from South Korea, from Dr. Miskovich, from Dr. Kapono, from all the doctors that, and you said it exactly how they say it, is that we cannot let, once this virus gets a hold and it runs away from us, then we cannot. Then you got to let it ride its course, and just like a hurricane, right? You just got to let it go through and then go pick up the pieces afterwards. And that is where I'm having a big problem, because we know our governor, lieutenant governor, Department of Health director, we all know that this is a threat. But it's the timing, right? Because it's the 4th of July weekend. It's the biggest travel weekend. Blah, blah, blah. But let me just, I wish I could talk to the governor. I wish he would come on our show. But I would love to ask him, hey, governor, if your son or your daughter, whatever, was a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, and you had this trip planned, they was going to go camping. Let's say
Hmm.
you're going to go camping, and it was important. This one was important because that was the last badge they're going to get, so they can make that Eagle Scout or whatever the Girl Scouts call their top rank. And then a couple of weeks before the camping trip, they find out that there's mountain lions in that area
Hmm.
that you're going to camp. And would you let your kids go into that campsite knowing that there's a viable threat that could, in fact, take your son's or daughter's life or injure them or their friends or the camp? Absolutely not, right? You would cancel the camp. You see, until we know more about this mountain lion, until we can contain this mountain lion and put him in a cage,
Hmm.
we're not going to go camping over there. See, that's what normal people that care about health and safety, that's how they think. But in this case, now we know. We know about the mountain lion, but we also know that we get hospitals close by. And
Hmm.
if you get mauled by the mountain lion, I am very confident that our hospitals can sew you up. I'm, 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 I'm positive that our hospitals that we have here on Oahu, we have the facilities. We'll take care of you. And yeah, one, maybe two of you might die, but it's more important for this camp to go on because so many people depend on this camp to get their patches, to get their goals and their objectives and so forth.
Hmm.
I wonder if the governor's answer would be the same if it was his son involved or his daughter involved. Because on the news, he said, I am extremely concerned, but I'm not going to change anything. We're just going to let it go. So while some of you might think I'm nuts and that was far fetched, I don't. I think that's a direct, very closely correlated analogy.
Hey, sit here.
that see, you got Uncle Charlie's at work, guys. We say interrupting one high level security mission at the Lihui Airport. Oop, I'm not supposed to tell where you stay. Undisclosed location. It's going to be sad when you got to give that up for run when we get
Hey,
elected.
hey, don't start spreading rumors, and these people that I've grown very fond of going to say, what? And I say, yep, there goes Uncle Mel making
Don't
trouble.
forget, share, guys. Let's spread the word.
Well, you're crazy, my friend. You are crazy. That's why I love you, man. You are crazy, man. But to all the viewers out there, I would like to say we've done a good job so far. We just got to keep on doing it. Okay, whatever it is we're doing, we got to try. Sometimes we get unforeseen clusters that happen. There's no rhyme or reason. It happened. Once it happens, it happens. I mean, there's no scientific way to put it. Okay. But I think we're doing a good job by keeping it from overpopulating, overpopulating, what you might call it, overpopulating us here. And so, I just wanted to let you know. And yes, I was told that they can see my badge. We all have to have these badges at the airport. So I'll take it off.
Oh,
But
I
yes,
see.
yeah.
I don't
But
want my badge. God.
it's okay. It's a badge of courage, they call it. But again, you always tell yourself you give credit where credit is due, right? No matter what happens in the whole scheme of things, right? I am very, very fortunate to be affiliated with a good bunch of people, but they too I worry about. But we always talk about safety first, because why? If you're ever in a job that has a lot of possibilities, you just get involved in a job where you have a lot of bodies moving around. That's the danger of it all. That's the danger of it all. And I guess, like I said before, there are some people that they're very innocent in their way of thinking, and they have the money to travel, and they're going to travel. And so the question is, do they take all the necessary precautions? I don't know. You don't know. The viewers don't know. But that's why they always say, hey, let's just take precautions on our own, right? So maybe we can mitigate the situation from getting out of control. So I hope and pray, the people that's watching tonight, I mean, I'm saying this with all sincerity. The people that I've come across, both local residents and visitors, very, very polite, very, very understanding, and they use a lot of caution. I see that. But again, we just don't know how this virus is coming. If it's on the plane, we had mechanisms before, right, to catch it at least before it can get way into the community, right? We had mechanisms, and all those mechanisms have been taken away. So we got to rely on something else. What is that? I don't have the answer. I don't have the answer.
Well, I think we're preaching to the choir. Our viewers, they just akamai. They're very akamai, and a lot of it is because we have had our guests come on that have been hit with COVID and have recovered, and of course we have your brother's story, which unfortunately didn't survive. So I think we, as the village, really akamai as to what we need to do. But I know as you were talking, when our visitors come off the plane at the airport, they're happy to be off the plane. They're in a good mood. It's when they leave that airport and then they realize now our vacation begins, then something happens to their mind. And not all of them, don't get me wrong, not all of them, but you read the stories, you see the videos. Something happens in their head that when they step foot and they realize, wow, man, no more COVID over here. Wow, the numbers are so low. Can you imagine how much they laugh when they find out only had 10 cases. Well, 10 cases from where they're from might be very small, but for here
Mhm.
it's kind of major. But then that metamorphosis occurs, right? And then they become this visitor who feels entitled and that they paid their way to get here and they can do what they want. And again, not
Mhm.
all of them. Don't get me wrong, but and this goes for locals too. We get locals that think that it's perfectly safe and they're gonna test, they're gonna push the envelope, and that's how people get sick. And
Mhm.
so yeah, it's just a matter of being personally responsible. I think we've been pounding that drum from day one. We gotta protect ourselves and our families and make sure that
Mhm.
everything is okay. I gotta fly out to San Francisco in September. I do not want to go, but I gotta go. And for medical, I
You
gotta
you'll
go.
you'll be fine. You'll be fine because you know why? You know what to do, right? Just rely
Yeah,
on that. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just rely on that. Have all the confidence in the world. Because one thing I did learn. In the beginning, I was kind of afraid for my wife, my grandchildren, my children. But you can also die from fear itself. And I just said, no more fearing already. You just be very, very positive, move forward, take all the precautions, and just tell yourself if some knucklehead decides to cough on you, you push that sucker away. But you do whatever you can to stay safe, right?
oh
So
yeah.
Mel,
I mean,
we've been
who will
talking
be?
about this for so long. You yourself is probably one of the safest guys I know that once you jump on a plane, you'll know what to do. Once you jump off in San Fran, you'll know what to do.
I told you what I'm
I
gonna do
would
in a plane. I told you what I'm gonna do in a plane.
sleep.
No, I'm gonna
What?
sit in a toilet. I'm going in a toilet, and I ain't coming out until we land.
But brother, that's where COVID generates, right? In the toilet.
But I going in there first before any visitor, any passenger gets to go. I'm gonna go in first. I was gonna tell a flight attendant I'm not feeling well. Wake me up when we get back to San Francisco, and I'm just gonna sit on that toilet. I ain't have to. They
Yeah,
have to physically remove me.
brother, just make you strapped in because if you get air turbulence, like come out like the blue man, right?
The blue man would be bad, but could be worse. I actually have been in that toilet when the turbulence brought up. It's not a pleasant. Oh my lord. Ew. Yeah. Maui Mayor says that Kahului Airport is over capacity. So if there is a law that can prevent flights, no, they can. You cannot prevent it. I mean, again, it comes back to the state's control over the airports, right? They control the airports, and uh, these guys. This
And
you got to understand
nobody,
how powerful.
Mel, nobody ever challenged the occupancy. Occupancy rating.
Yeah,
Nobody ever challenged that.
exactly. I mean, and because again, you understand how politics works, right? The lobby is very. We saw it. If you weren't aware of the strength of the everybody talk about labor union, labor union, labor unions. Yeah, they're strong and they got some power, but you guys, everybody witnessed firsthand with this pandemic how much power the visit industry has on our decision makers. I mean, it's incredible. We are where we're at today is because of the visit industry pushed. Even Ige wasn't talking about opening up until we hit herd immunity, and then that slowly kind of diminished. Now he's at 60%. Maybe we have 50% now. I mean, it's the power of that industry. And then you got the industry folks crying because we don't can keep up. We got too much people. We don't have enough employees. You guys' restrictions of capacity is hurting us. We don't can bring in workers. What did they think would happen, right? So it's this whole thing. We know what the capacity of our islands are. We know. I mean, we know we're over capacity. But the federal government, again, you talk to Case and Hirono and Kahele and who's the other one?
Shots,
Kahele and
shots.
Shits, or whatever his name is. You talk to them and tell them, guys, you guys need to fight for us. That's what you guys need. You guys need to start working with the U.S. Department of Transportation and say, hey, we gotta figure out a mechanism when airlines want to bring in more asses to Hawaii, that there's a mechanism in place for the people of Hawaii to have a say. That's where we need to go. But they're not going to do that because go look the campaign spending reports from all of these decision makers. Go look. I mean, you can go look at mine. They don't give me a penny. I don't want their money. But
Mhm.
we might have to need them for our run, though. But Charlie, but we just send them back. We just send them right back. We donate them to charity.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, that's what needs to be done. Our federal delegation needs to get off their colas and say, hey, our islands are being destroyed. We understand. We don't like kill the goose that laid the golden egg, but our people's quality of life should not be compromised because of tourism. I sorry, that's just the way it is. So we just keep loading them up. Look at Hawaiian, just all the new routes that they added. Hawaiian Airlines now, a Hawaiian company. You think they give a damn about the quality of life for the residents? They don't care. Otherwise, they would. It's about money. It's about profits, and that's why our federal government got to get involved. A federal delegation up there shouldn't be worrying about all this other nonsense going on around the world and just focus on what we need. And that is one of the biggest things we got to do is make sure that these airlines, these industries don't overflow and overtake our carrying capacity in our state. That's what needs to be done. But if they go down that road, they cut off the donations, the funding, and then maybe they'll get elected the next time, right? And that's where things gotta change.
Yep.
That's where things gotta change. 'Cause we are definitely over capacity. And we're still in a pandemic. We're still in a pandemic. And capacity doesn't mean how many hotel rooms you have. That's not how you judge capacity. The fact that our hotel's only at 60%, we're not at capacity. Yeah, your hotel may not be at capacity, but the
Mm.
roads are at capacity. The infrastructure is at capacity. The parks and the beaches are at capacity. Not just your stinking hotel. There's more to the capacity than one or two or three properties. Again, I'm preaching to the choir. Yeah, tourists are complaining about wait times. They're getting upset because they got to wait too long to eat. Hey, bologna sandwich. You guys go Costco, buy bologna in bulk and sandwich bread and mayonnaise. That's what you do. Nothing wrong
You
with
know,
bologna sandwich.
one thing that I did notice, every person has a right to partake in whatever this island has to offer. So the other day, I went to go pick up some dinner from the Folk Kauai, right next to the bowling alley, the rice complex right there. And I saw a lot of people still standing in line to get into Rob's. And outside, there was a table full of visitors eating. And I could see some of the people waiting were just getting upset, maybe the wait time or whatever. But, all I'm saying is those visitors that was partaking in Rob's has just as much right to sit there as we do, right? It's just that right now there's certain restrictions that don't allow overcapacity in a restaurant. And I will say this, I'm glad it's there. In fact, the restaurant experience to me, because if it's my time to get in, I'll get in. And if tonight's not my time, as an example, then hey, there's always a tomorrow, right? But it's so nice when everybody's spread apart. You still have that ambiance, you still can wave at friends, but you're not up in everybody's faces and eating at the same time. And I love it. I love it. So, I just want to tell our family and friends and all of those viewing this and to our local residents, especially, no need to get upset. Now, when I say upset, I was judging by what I saw, just the mannerisms and all that. And they could have been tired, and it was still daylight hours, so it was kind of warm, you know. But the good thing about it is businesses are coming back. Our small businesses are coming back, but yet there's still not enough workers, and there's still individuals riding that unemployment train for some reason. And I wish they would get off the train and say, "Hey, it won't last forever.
Mhm.
Remember that it won't last forever. And by the time you're ready to come back, I bet you get some pretty peed off employers that say, man, you work for me and you do this and you stay out, blah, 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 blah. I mean, I can only fear what will happen at that point.
Yeah. You make your bed, you sleep in it, right? My grandma used to tell me
Mhm,
all the time. You make your bed, you sleep in it.
mhm,
You know, and that, uh, and I know this because we do this at work. That there's so many small eateries.
mhm,
We've showcased quite a bit on this show. We just cannot find anymore because they're all busy. But you go to Rob's, there's a long line.
mhm,
Go to another local place. You know, today we went too far. I had their Vietnamese fried rice with the shrimp, and oh my God, it was delicious. Call in the order, pick them up. But there's so many others. There's Paradise Grinds. There's all these different. We went to this Bobo drink and barbecue in the food truck last week down at by Harbor Mall. You know, in the little
mhm,
area, get like 3 food trucks. I think it's called Boba Boba Drinks and Barbecue.
mhm.
And I just had the barbecue plate. Had barbecue chicken, barbecue meat, and barbecue short ribs. Delicious. Right? You just call in the order, drive down, pick them up. You can go drive down to the boat harbor. Me and my partner go down there. We eat lunch whenever we cheat once a week. We buy lunch once a week, and then we go down to boat harbor, small boat harbor, and we eat our lunch there in the car.
Mhm,
There's a lot of things you can do instead of getting mad because you're on a long line.
mhm,
Um, so this is an opportunity. We talked about support locals for quite a while, and that shouldn't stop when things start to open up. No, we need to continue to support our local establishments and go do that. Now is a great time to go find new places with good food that you may not have known about. That's what I do. I hit the Yelp on my app, and then you find these places that we've never been to, and we try them out. Support
mhm.
local, and don't have to wait in no damn lines. So thanks for bringing it up, Charlie, because it's so true. You choose, right? You make a choice. You're gonna be mad or you're gonna be happy,
Mhm.
unless you're
Yeah.
Portuguese, because then you just cannot control. You just cannot control.
But see, that goes back to what you said. You, it's the voice of the village. You start hearing those voices again. You
No,
know, when inside your head you hear yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, go back and forth. That's the
I'm
voices
glad
of the
you.
village.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the voices of the village because my dad just hit Papa on. He just went home. He was at the Seattle Mariners ball game. Him and my stepmom were the only ones wearing masks in the whole stadium.
Mhm.
Unbelievable. But yeah, I'm glad you brought up the village because voices of the village, guys. We're gonna have one shirt made. Let me go fix my board here so I can put up my board again. You almost had make me forget.
And folks, just so you know, again, I know my partner is very excited, but I am not running for lieutenant governor. He's running for governor, though. When he got his mindset, he's running for governor. There we go again. There we go.
Thanks for bringing it up. I almost forgot about it, but I wanted to bring this up before we sign off tonight.
You
That's
know,
that's gonna be
you,
classic, guys.
brother, you know what this remind me of? Remember when Bula Eo ran for governor?
We are not Bulaya. Bulaya. Remember when he ran? He said, "Hey, if you guys let me count the votes, I guarantee win." Some of you guys don't know what Bulaya. Go Google it when the show is done.
Yeah.
Bu Bu Laia Liah. Bulaya or
No,
Laih, whatever you.
no. Bulaia.
Yeah, Bulaya, but he goes Bulaya.
Yeah.
Go check him out, guys. Go check him out. He ran for governor on the ballot, man. But this year, 2022, guys,
The uncles.
2022,
The uncles.
the uncles, voices
Uncles.
of the village, voices of the village. Ha! Damn. Ah,
Man,
solid, man.
this kind of thoughts you have. I tell you, it permeates a vision. It permeates a vision of, well, put it this way, of hope and intensity. So, yes, 2022 will be a good year, brother. I'd be rooting for you, man. Evil all the way.
Jody just posted, please don't feel I'm sticking my nose where it doesn't belong. Kauai is my second home, and my 45-year-old son-in-law was in the ICU with COVID for 2 months on a vent. Sending prayers, ma'am. Jody,
Yep.
you're sending prayers, man. I mean, that's the thing. I wish more people could connect with those that have been touched. I don't know, Jody, how long you've been watching our show, but our Uncle Charlie here lost his brother very early on, back in March of last year. One of the first victims of COVID. He was in New York, and he took us on the journey. And since then, we've met quite a few on this show. So our prayers go out to you, your son-in-law, and the entire family. Of the entire family. Sad. That's my biggest fear is we just, it's just so scary going forward because we just don't know. We don't know enough of the variant and variants to come. So
Yes. Well, there's some voices of the village. Okay.
bam, as they say, boom, as Melissa would say, whoop whoop.
No, everything is about that Ferris wheel that she wants to ride. But we'd like to also send a shout out to our friends throughout the entire United States. Thank you again, always for watching, always for commenting, always, keeping, I can only speak for myself on this, always for keeping me on the rails, the right rails. Because, sometimes this gets very hard, right? This gets very hard when we discuss certain matters, and it triggers certain feelings. And, I try not to deviate too much. Like, not to mention names, but, Mel. But no, I'm sorry. It didn't come out right.
I know a lot of people are thinking these two guys not gonna be able to work together. No, we will. Trust me, we will represent you guys well.
Yeah, we are the yin and the yang of the yang of the yin. Yes.
Yes, and we are the voices of the village. We are the
Yes.
voices of the village.
Yes.
Awesome. I cannot wait. And Charlie gonna be, he's gonna be the one doing all the talking and singing and all of that. Yeah. So let me just put one more thing up on my board.
Folks, I tell
And
you.
I don't wanna offend anybody. So again, we respect all of you that have decided not to, for whatever reason, take the vaccine. But for those of you that are on the fence, for those of you that are still considering it, for those of you who are weighing it out, we would just please encourage you guys, go get the vaccine, please. We wanna get as many people vaccinated as possible.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah, we really gotta take this thing seriously. The parade is going. The train is on the tracks. It is flying, and we gotta do our thing. And getting vaccinated is probably the most important thing that you guys can do to protect yourself and others. For those of you that have opted not to, again, we love and respect you as well. But please, please wear your mask, social distance, wash your hands, all of that stuff. Avoid the big gatherings.
Mhm.
That's just serious. That's the real deal. So please, guys.
Right.
Yeah. I'm afraid for what's to come. the fact of the matter is we have a lot of people, and we shouldn't be. One of the things that I was talking, I had a long discussion with my daughter in Oregon a couple of days ago. She said in Oregon they've really created a division from the people, the vaccinated and the non-vaccinated, and that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. And the vaccinated people are no better than the non-vaccinated people. Everyone has a choice. Everyone has a choice, and everyone's choice should be respected. But when I watched a video someone sent me today about this nurse, it was, I guarantee that video is fake, but there's no way of me validating or invalidating it. But anyway, so they have a scanner, a little scanner, like what kind of scanner? I don't know. I was trying to get the model number to see what the heck that was. And she says, scan this arm. And they scan the arm, nothing happens. Okay, scan this arm. And then they beep, 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 and a long number comes out. And she goes, that's where I got vaccinated. Now that thing goes viral. And people watch that and they think, oh my God, they're putting a chip in you. That's the kinds of things that's hurting this country and this world, because the kinds of videos that go around, and a nurse in a nursing outfit, in a looks like a nurse, like a doctor's office, or probably was a hotel room. I don't know. But no substance to validate, no credit to who this was. It's fake. And yet Japan, right? 2%, 3% people vaccinated. They would die for our vaccines because they're in bad shape. So I highly suggest you guys talk to your primary doctors and get educated. Don't watch YouTube and Facebook and all this other crap. Go talk to your doctor. If your doctor says that you shouldn't take the vaccine, then obviously don't take the vaccine. But if you're not taking the vaccine because you saw that video of the lady getting scanned on her arm with a freaking, look like a multimeter that you can buy at Home Depot, whatever. So anyway, it's critical, guys. It's critical.
Mhm. Well said, brother. Well said. Well,
So what's your thoughts, Charlie? What's up? What you doing for this weekend, man? It's just about 8 o'clock, bro. What you got planned for the weekend?
work, work, and work.
Awesome.
Yep. It's just because it's new, and I'm just as human as anybody else, and just trying to learn everything that I can to make sure that Kauai's airport stays as safe as possible. And that's all I am about right now. And of course, my family. I'm fortunate that my wife got to stay with me because we stayed at the beautiful Sonesta. You remember the Marriott Kalapaki? And they changed their name to Sonesta. So we got to stay there, and I'm so glad that she got to spend the time with me there, because I would get off late at night, have a couple hours of sleep, and go right back to work. And when you got your loved one next to you, it makes the journey a little easier. I can tell you that much. It makes the journey a little easier. But tonight, I take the trek all the way back to the beautiful town of Waimea. Haven't been home in close to a week, so I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. I do want to say, with the time left, thank you so much to all of our family and friends out there watching Mel and Charlie live tonight on Facebook Live. We appreciate your loyalty and always checking in with us. I hope and pray that one day I get to meet you in person. I've met many of you and made many, many more friends that I call family. And it's through this venue that we get to share a lot with all of you. Sometimes we ramble on because we really have nothing on the plate to talk about. But I know one thing, it's just the love and aloha that you folks share with us in the comments that you have makes us do this. And, if you think about it, I don't think there's anything out there that can compare to what we do. And it's because we care about you. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you and tell you that I love you, and, hang in there. And like I said, my new role here at the Lihue Airport is just to make sure everyone is safe, both residents and travelers that when they come in and when they leave, that you understand and you feel that we have a safe environment at the airport, because it's the first impression when you land and it'll be the last impression when you leave. And I just want to make sure that impression will be everlasting to you all. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Drive carefully tonight. I know it's dark.
I will.
It's late.
I will. will.
Jody just texted a little while ago that her son-in-law permanently disabled with 50% lung function left and on supplemental oxygen. Thank you for sharing, Jody. Again, our prayers go out to your entire family. Again, people, that's just what this thing does, man. It's not just. Please don't let people convince you that it's minor, that we've crossed the line and it's all good. You're not gonna get sick. It's still a very, very, very dangerous virus. And if nothing else convinces you to help kick this virus's okole, don't forget the free concert. The free concert that Uncle Charlie and myself will be putting on as soon as we cleared to take off. That free concert is going to be powerful, guys. It's going to be huge. Anyway, I know Charlie's like, you're off, Mel. You are so off. No, I'm not. Not totally honest. But guys, it's a very, very long weekend. Don't forget the reason why the weekend, Independence Day, 4th of July. It's not just about cracking fireworks, not just a long weekend. Let's celebrate our freedom. Let's pray for everybody that is going through some rough times right now. People that's grieving or having issues. Let's just pray for everybody. Let's make this a better place. We'll see you guys back here on Monday night. We'll find somebody, maybe one of you. Anybody want to come on our show and just talk about the voices of the village? Message me. All right, guys. You guys take care. Stay safe. God bless. We love you guys. Hang on. Let me find the right button. Yes, Kiala, you get VIP passes. Take care.
Yep.
Aloha.
Aloha.